Welcome back. I want to pivot a bit and start a new series focused on one simple question. Why does a remote bookkeeping business make sense? Let's start with what I think is the biggest shift that made all of this possible, the move from QuickBooks Desktop to QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks Online existed in the early 2000s, but it didn't really become widely adopted until around 2013. So if you were running a bookkeeping business prior to 2013, you were most likely using QuickBooks Desktop. Now, here's what that meant. QuickBooks Desktop lived on a specific computer. So if you wanted to work on a client's books, in most instances, you would have to physically be sitting at that computer, which meant you were driving to clients' offices once a month, sometimes more, entering transactions, reconciling accounts, and trying to get everything done during their business hours. There was a lot of coordination. You needed access, someone available, and uninterrupted time to finish your work. And naturally, your client base was limited to businesses within driving distance. That was just the reality of the business at that time. Then in 2013, everything changed. QuickBooks Online became more user-friendly, and more importantly, it was cloud-based, which meant you could log into your client's books from your own computer, technically from anywhere. No driving, no scheduling around office access, no geographic limits. You can work from your own space on your own time. And this is where my story comes in. In the beginning of 2014, I was looking for a new business opportunity. I had been using QuickBooks Desktop for years with a few small businesses that I owned, but I only knew the basics. I tracked income and expenses, but then I'd hand the file over to my accountant so he could clean it up and prepare it for taxes. So when someone suggested I start doing bookkeeping for other businesses, my first thought was, I'm not interested, because I was picturing the old model, driving to offices, working on someone else's computer, dealing with schedules. It just didn't appeal to me. But then I was introduced to QuickBooks Online, and I saw something completely different. I saw a way to run this business remotely without being tied to a location, with real flexibility and the ability to scale in a way that simply didn't exist before. In February of 2014, I started my business, and I haven't looked back since. In the next video, I'm going to continue this series by comparing a remote bookkeeping business to a traditional brick and mortar business. I've had experience on both sides, so I'll be able to walk you through some real world examples. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you're subscribed.